Hey guys, APGAINS here. Welcome back to Lord of the Rings Rise to War, your one-stop shop for all things guides, free-to-play tutorials, and exciting PvP. We're here to talk about mistakes that I've made, mistakes my friends have made, and mistakes my subscribers have made that you guys are going to want to avoid. If you guys want tutorials every single day for Lord of the Rings Rise to War, as well as all of my other amazing content on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, being the greatest Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes player at all time and stuff like that, you guys are going to want to subscribe. This is going to be a great place for you guys to learn and get better with this game. Now, I'm on a new account. I have multiple accounts, multiple instances, multiple servers, doing everything I can to figure out what works and what doesn't so that I can make good guides for you guys. This is a relatively new server, and we've already made a couple of mistakes, but we're going to talk about them. The most important mistake you guys are going to want to avoid is not joining a new server, a new faction, and a new warband with your friends. Now, I understand that a lot of you guys probably don't have friends who are interested in Lord of the Rings or even mobile games in general, so that can be unavoidable in some instances. But if at all possible, maybe you're a part of a community, maybe you're in my Discord, maybe you follow another content creator or something like that, and you guys have a community built up, try to get some people to come into a server. You can always back out to the main menu, figure out which server you're in, make sure you guys are all lined up so you guys can be in the same server, because communication is very important when it comes to PvP in this game. Now, for this account, me and my friends, we decided to come up here in Angmar and meme around. We got a pretty good start location next to the mountains. As you can see, it's pretty early in this server, so we're still trying to get forts set up so that we can hop around the map, get access to these important points, and communication is very important. So number one tip has got to be join with other people so you guys can have some good communication. Now, what's another thing that may go overlooked, and this is going to be kind of a niche mistake that I've made and a lot of people have made, but definitely one of the important ones that not a lot of people are going to talk about. It's when you go in here, tips, everyone knows where tips are important, but these 200 crystal refreshes for tips are super important because tips give you so much valuable gear. Also, experience is amazing, especially when you have stamina's low and stuff like that, or maybe you're out of things to fight, or you have new leaders who just need some experience to catch up a little bit so they can be more useful if you're going against harder nodes, harder PvP matches. Also, you can get some cool respect, which is always a blessing. So we're going to process this later. You can get these nice 3 stars, which can give you some gear. They actually have fairly good drop rates in terms of gold gear, which is fantastic if you want to get good gold gear, break it down to make your current gold gear better. And just all around, these tips are so important because you can sometimes get good pulls, good XP, and if we go into the recruited commanders, I've actually gotten a lot of good. I got a token for a free commander. I've got a bunch of experience for this guy right here. I'm basically a third of the way there without ever having to do anything to another commander, because having a bunch of commanders is very, very, very important. So if you're going to go to bed, or maybe you're going to be busy for a while, maybe dispatch a couple of commanders. Like I'll probably do this right now because I don't plan on doing any PvP anytime soon. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do PvP for another video, so I'll hold off on that. But those 200 crystal refreshes, because you get a fair amount of crystals free to play throughout, which is awesome. You get some crystals from the warband, crystals from daily challenges, from getting higher levels XP and stuff like that. So definitely the best use of the crystals in the entire game, without a doubt. Another thing is worrying too much about this power per hour. It's so fun to say power per hour, is it not? The ring power per hour. And not focusing enough on resources. As you can see, I don't have a very good location in terms of, wood is kind of scarce, as well as farmland. All the farmland I have are these low, 10 power tiles. There are some, I believe, in here that are a little bit stronger, like these level 8s. But I'm really looking for, these 130 per hour, these, 800 wheat per hour. These are important, and these are what you're going to want to have. So much so that, me and my friends were very PvP focused. It's not optimal to fight your faction members. But I might just body this guy right here just to make sure that, all these good wheat tiles I have access to. But worrying too much about this power per hour and not enough about resources is going to bite you in the butt. Now, I don't have any from ring buffs. I don't have any warband bonuses. This is a new instance, a new account. So a lot of the stuff is going to be pretty early mid-game for you guys because this is a new account. But getting those resources is very important, because let's say I wanted to do some PvP. I'm really strapped for cash at the moment. Like, yeah, I can barely recruit units because, where are my resources at? I have almost no food. I'm pretty low on a lot of resources. So Could I have had a better start location? Yes, of course. It would have been nice to have a better start location, but, you get the start location you get and you don't throw a fit. Luckily, I have no units who've died because, my units don't die. But if I could have played this start better, I would have hopped on these later. I'm probably going to have to start taking as many 170 per hours. I refer to them by their power per hour just because it's the top thing. It's just the nomenclature me and my friends use. Technically, you can call this a tier 9 or a level 9 tile or whatever you want to call it. We call them 130s, 170s, 200s, stuff like that. That's just how we say it. You guys describe it however you want. There's no big deal with me. You're not going to get any pushback from the greatest Rise to War player of all time. If you're new to the channel, we're very big on sarcasm here. So if you hear me become boisterous and flamboyant, just know that I am only joking. There are probably many more players who've been playing for a lot longer in this game who have, that official title of the greatest Rise to War player. But you're never going to hear me admit it, even though I kind of just admitted it there. What are some other tips? Now, I've already talked about commanders. Commanders are super important. I have a couple. I have 6 at the moment. Now, this is obviously a huge caveat. I decided to spend the 99 cents for Kamul. My Lord of the Rings pronunciation is a tad rusty. I'm sorry for any of you lore guys if I butcher characters' names or the names of factions or anything. I promise I grew up on this stuff. I don't love it as much as Star Wars, but it's definitely got a special place in my heart. I just, on stream the other day, watched the original 1977 Hobbit animated movie, sang all the songs, had a great time. I promise I am a fan, not necessarily a lore expert, so forgive me. But if you're going to spend any money in this game, there's only 2 things that you should spend money on. And it should be the 99 cent. I think for the light side, you get Aragorn. For this one, you get Kamul for 99 cents, which is a steal because he's a great commander. And having early commanders is always awesome. Or the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass, I believe, is $14-ish. I did buy it for this account, not any of the other accounts. The other accounts are strictly free to play. This is kind of just a test account where we see what works to help you guys avoid spending any money. We're not going to spend tons of money. Probably the $14 plus the $1, or probably total of $15 is all we're going to end up spending on this account. But, for science, right? And this is not where we go. We go up here. So, So the Battle Pass is super helpful. Mostly because you get a lot of these purple Mothman coins, or medals as they're called, and allows you to unlock Lurtz. Again, probably didn't pronounce that right, but this guy's fantastic. But not only is he fantastic, he's a solid Urukai, but also just having more commanders in the early game allows you to dominate. Me and my guild have, or my warband rather, sorry, this is Rise to War, have really emphasized getting a bunch of commanders early because you can do more marches, you can capture more tiles, you can do more gathers. Having a bunch of extra commanders to plop down forts all over the map is always helpful. I'm saving all my commanders for some PvP, but I might even just, just for the sake of it, let's find my weakest commander. How is Agzok my weakest commander somehow? Oh well. Do we have any fast guys? Oh, this is Speedy Boy right here. This is a Speedy Boy right here. Let's send him off. It's important to have extra commanders because sometimes you just gotta plop people around to put forts up. Help your team do PvP. Let me just send him on his way. A nice brisk 12 minutes. Not too bad. So if I only had 2 commanders or 3 commanders, that would be a third of my resources right there, as opposed to just a sixth of my commanders. I still have my top-end commanders to do PvP against these tier 9s, these 170 per hours. Maybe I want to take a couple of 130s over here, 170s. And then I still have a couple of commanders who can go and do tips and stuff like that, because some require orcs, some require this, some require that. So just having a big early pool of commanders is very, very important for your first time playing. And when reset hits, you keep them and all of that good stuff. But if this is your first time playing, which I imagine it is if you're watching this video, very, very important to have a bunch of commanders. Now, is there a dark horse tip? One that was given to me, one that I wasn't really sure about? Maybe a little bit. One thing that I did regret is not understanding that you can reset this for free every 24 hours. This will be the last tip I give you guys. Because sometimes, like right now, I have max stamina. I've done a lot of stuff today. I had a bunch of resources. I recruited a bunch of units. I captured a bunch of tiles. I did a bunch of gathering, did a bunch of tips, and I needed a bunch of stamina. When I do some PvP tomorrow or capture some bigger tiles, I might reset and put all of this into abundant power so I can get plus 10% physical damage, helping me take stronger and stronger tiles. And then, maybe I want to do some gathering. So I might come up here and, my tribute bonus is higher or my gathering bonus is higher. Or maybe I need to run around a lot, so I'll put some over here. Making sure that you reset based on the day's activities plan. So if you plan on doing a bunch of stuff with your commanders, pump a lot into stamina. If you plan on doing something that takes, strength, get some abundant power increases. Now, some things can't be reset. I think these can't be reset, as well as some of these permanent ones down here. Anything that gives you maximum amount of forts, because, if you were to build 2 extra forts and then lose this, you would just have more forts than you could have, and that's not possible, and more fort durability as well. So some of these can't be reset, so be very mindful of that. When you click reset, it will tell you what can't be reset. But make sure you're resetting in accordance to your day's activities so that you can, have an advantage on what you want to do during that day. All right, guys, thank you so much. I've been APGAINS. Again, mostly do Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, doing a couple of Rise to War guides because we do have a bunch of very knowledgeable people backing us, and we're learning and we're helping you guys. We're helping you guys make avoid mistakes. So, if you enjoyed it, subscribe. If not, no big deal. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.